All right, joining me now is Luca Paschina, the estate director and winemaker for Barboursville Vineyard in Virginia. Luca's a third-generation winemaker from Alba, Italy, and after working in Italy, Switzerland, Spain, Napa, California, and the Finger Lakes of New York, he settled in Virginia to manage Barboursville Vineyard. And during his time at Barboursville, he's grown the vineyard from 38 acres to 180 acres, integrating Italian varieties, French varieties, and growing techniques from Italy that he's brought to Virginia and from other areas he's worked. And his wines have won over 2,000 awards in national and international wine competition in the process. Very impressive. Welcome to the show, Luca.
Thank you so much, Fritz, for inviting me. It's very exciting. I haven't seen you in a while, but at least today we spent some time together.
Yeah. I was commenting earlier as we were chatting before recording here that it's been, gosh, probably more than 10 years since I've seen you in person. As you know, I worked in Virginia back in 2005 and 6, and I visited you several times there and practiced some of my bad Italian with you, and you're always very generous and nice to me. But I was always impressed with what you were doing there, and most of all, your wine as the end product. And, it's such an honor to have you here. I know my introduction definitely doesn't do justice to everything you've done and achieved in your career to this point. But maybe if now you could tell the audience a little bit more about yourself, and then we'll dig into how you and your team achieved success with Italian wine grapes in Virginia. So what can we learn a little bit more about you, Luca?
Yes, I was born in the town of Torino, and then attended winemaking school in Alba. And the reason why I chose to go into winemaking studies and viticulture studies is because my father, my uncle, they were winemakers, and my grandfather, it was not a winemaker from studies, although when he retired, he bought a decent sized vineyard and it was selling the grapes. It was making some wine on its own. And so I was exposed since young age to the world of vines and wine.
I believe it's 1990. You did a consultancy with Barboursville, and something clicked with you right then about how Italian varieties could be grown successfully in Virginia, where you still are today, and even other areas of the East Coast of the United States. So can you tell us more about that? What had Barboursville been growing up to that point? And were there others already in the area trying to experiment with Italian, or was it mostly French or American hybrid?
Yes, when I arrived here for a consulting job for 3 months for the harvest of 1990, I discovered some varieties I'd never seen before. The only one I was familiar with, they came from Italy, were Barbera, and that's it. And
Okay.
the other one that was grown here, but I didn't have direct experience, was Malvasia Bianca.
Okay.
Okay. Pretty much everything else was from France. The Gewürztraminer, Pinot Noir, Cabernet Sauvignon, Riesling. And then it was Alicante Boucher, for example, for coloring.
French, German, and then some hybrid. Were
Yeah.
there any other Italians at the time doing anything?
No, Barboursville was the first estate in April 1376. That's when they established the estate. Was the first to exclusively plant European varieties. Prior to that, there was only one vineyard that had planted a little bit of Chardonnay.
Okay.
And they didn't plant any hybrids they were not familiar with. They were focused on Europe, on vinifera. They thought the climate and soil was suitable, and that's what they did. So they planted quite a bit. So when I came, I found Barbera, which was great. It was only a couple hundred vines, was a long row. And Malvasia Bianca, like I said. There was a little bit more of Malvasia Bianca. And so the second vintage I started cultivating, I was hired after the consultancy. They liked my proposals. They asked me to come back. I gladly accepted. I gladly accepted because I really felt as well that there was the opportunity to produce great wines that yet had to be produced.
Tell us just a little bit about your climate so we understand
Yeah,
what's going on in your vineyard with your success.
most winters here we get some fairly cold temperature, and so far we have been going in single digits or just above single digits for a few days every winter, which is a good thing. Or
So 3 to 5 Fahrenheit or something, or
yeah,
below
especially
5.
for insect and Pierce's disease, which in a few spots in Southwest Virginia we start seeing Pierce's disease, which is not fun. So fairly cold winter. We have on average good precipitation in the spring. A couple years, like 2012, we have almost no rain for the month of March, and that caused a lot of deformity because we don't irrigate with
Yeah.
rainwater. So there was uneven bud break because of lack of water, but that's rare. And then late spring, early summers, it can be anywhere in Virginia. Like I said, it could be a very dry season, could be a wet season. The temperatures, uh, like I say, in the mid 90s, upper 90s, rarely we have seen 100. Last year we saw 100 one day,
Okay.
or a day or two, and then in September, which is the most important month, mid-August through late September, is a variability of conditions.
Yeah. Hurricane season can hit you.
Yeah,
with the
hurricane
aftermath
can come and the
from
tropical depression dumps 6-7 inches, and that's where you want to have varietals that can hold in case some more rain, and that's where like what I mentioned, Sangiovese, the Dolcetto, the Barbera are more susceptible. So if you're in a region like that, be careful. If
Okay.
not, no problem. Winter injuries. We used to see cold snaps going to below zero in the 90s, early 2000. We haven't seen them yet, which is a good thing because there are certain varieties that are more susceptible, like the Merlot, the Barbera actually is quite resistant. Sangiovese also did fine. Moscato, like I mentioned, some other Moscatos, they really didn't like it.
Moscato.
Maybe now it's different. Maybe now it's we could, but in the 90s the signal was nope, don't plant it again, right?
Uh,
So yeah, rainfall it can go from 40 inches in the upper 30s to 50 plus inches, like we had in 2018.
Annual
But in the end, you look at we would not exist and be successful financially if we were in a region that doesn't work. So
Right.
it's definitely a region that can do beautiful wines with good consistency to the level that it's sustainable. That's why there are 330 wineries now and close to 6,000 acres planted. And so,
I'm a big believer of teaching everything I know, and hopefully that's enough to teach one person something new. But Luca, we've learned a ton from having you here today. Any final advice or words of wisdom for anyone in the audience?
don't plant necessarily what you like to drink.
Yeah, yeah. Or go
Plant,
where
work,
acquire land where you can grow that thing that you
right?
want.
Or move on, or go to live where you want to plant a grape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Experiment. That's important. Make small investments and ideally wait for a good season and an adverse season. Then you can decide if you should plant a grape.